I'm Mike with List 25, and prepare for some culture shock, because these are the 25 most insane festivals from around the world. #25. The Thaipuism Festival. Not for the faint of heart, this Hindu festival is typically celebrated in southern India and involves some of the most intense body piercings known to man. According to practitioners, the more pain you can endure, the more you will be blessed. Some even try pulling tractors or other heavy objects with the hooks in their skin. 24. The Songkran Festival. Every April, to celebrate New Year, the world's largest water gun fight takes place in Thailand. And no, it's not just in some small isolated village. I'm talking about an entire country drowning itself with super soakers. But the fun isn't limited to water guns, as some people prefer buckets or even elephants. 23. Tunarama. Originally meant to promote Australia's fledgling tuna industry, this festival has now come to be known for its highlight event, the tuna toss. 22. La Tomatina. What started as something of a tomato street fight between teenagers has turned into the largest tomato fight in the world. It happens every year in the small Spanish town of Buñol. Over the course of about an hour, the town gets so covered in tomatoes that the fire department has to come in and spray everything down. 21. Boreum Mud Festival. Taking place every summer in the town of Boreum, South Korea, this international mud fight attracts millions of visitors from all over the world. Strangely enough, it was originally intended to be a marketing vehicle for local cosmetic producers who use the mineral-rich mud in their products. 20. Holi. By this point, you've probably noticed that celebrating people have a tendency to throw/smear things on one another. While it's hard to say whether colored powder feels any better than mud or tomatoes, it certainly looks a lot cooler. If this kind of thing strikes your fancy, though, you might want to pay a visit to India during the springtime festival of Holi. At the very least, you'll probably end up with a pretty cool-looking tie-dye shirt. 19. The Monkey Buffet Festival. There aren't many things cooler than hanging out with a bunch of monkeys. Except maybe hanging out with a bunch of monkeys stuffing their faces at an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's exactly what you'll find if you visit Thailand around November. Locals celebrate the festival every year by laying out fruit for their monkey friends. Interestingly enough, there's supposedly no real significance behind it, except for an alleged attempt to boost tourism. 18. Festival of the Pig. This annual festival, held in the small town of Tres-sur-Baies, honors the pig with events such as piglet races and squealing and costume contests. The town used to be France's biggest pig market, and although business isn't quite what it used to be, it seems the locals are still very passionate about their swine. 17. Night of the Radishes. Although it sounds like some sort of vegan horror film, it's actually a festival celebrated every year before Christmas throughout Mexico. Street-side vendors whip out their specially grown, oversized radishes and then proceed to sculpt them into some really cool shapes. 16. Fiesta de Santa Marta de Ribarteme. Also known as the Near-Death Festival, this celebration is held annually in the town of Las Nieves, Spain. Hundreds of people attend Mass in honor of Saint Marta de Ribarteme, the patron saint of resurrection. Don't be surprised if you see a bunch of people being carried in coffins. They're not dead, at least not yet. They're actually in the coffin because they had a near-death experience in the past 12 months and are showing their gratitude. 15. Cheese Rolling Festival. Every year near Gloucester, England, hundreds of people gather to watch as locals chase a huge cheese wheel off the top of Cooper's Hill. They tumble a couple hundred yards to the bottom, where they are either scooped up by paramedics and taken to the hospital, or if they cross the finish line first, they win the cheese. Definitely worth it. 14. Argungu Fishing Festival. Every year in the town of Argungu, Nigeria, all the local men compete to see who can pull the largest fish out of the river using nothing but their bare hands. Ladies, take note. The winner is supposed to be a real catch. 13. The Running of the Bulls. Probably one of the more popular events on this list, the Pamplona Bull Run in Spain is actually part of the Fiesta de San Fermin, which takes place every July. The only requirements to participate are that you have to be at least 18 years old and sober. 12. Dhaka Matsuri. When it comes to strange festivals, it's pretty hard to beat the Japanese. Although this naked festival seems like little more than a bunch of guys running around in diapers, it's actually considered to be fairly sacred by some people, and can be traced back hundreds of years. 11. Entroida. Every year, the town of Laza in northern Spain holds their own unique version of carnival and purification. People party away, pelt each other with muddy rags, wear costumes, and eat and drink. To top it all off, men bring back ants from the mountains where they douse them in vinegar to rile them up a bit. After this, the only thing left to do is take the angry fire ants around town and throw them in people's faces. 10. Moose Dropping Festival. In celebration of the state's official animal, the small Alaskan town of Talkeetna holds an annual festival in which the highlight involves dropping loads of moose poop onto targets from hot air balloons. I kid you not. 9. Up Elia. Occurring once a year in the Shetland Islands, Up Elia is a fairly intense ordeal that involves lots of fire, Viking helmets, and life-size replicas of longships being burned to the ground. Or the ocean, for that matter. 8. Frozen Dead Guy Days. Ever since Brett Morstall's body was brought to the US by his grandson in the late 80s, it's been cryogenically frozen in a shed in Nederland, Colorado. Although initially the townspeople were opposed to the idea, they've chilled out quite a bit. Today, they even hold an annual festival that includes coffin races, a slow-motion parade, and a frozen dead guy lookalike contest. 7. Goose Pulling Festival. Each year on Shrove Tuesday, in various towns throughout Germany and the Netherlands, villagers take part in a very old and very controversial activity. Basically, a goose is hung from either a wire or a pole, after which participants take turns trying to pull its head off. Don't get too worked up though. The animal rights activists already beat you to it. These days, only dead geese are allowed to be used in the festivities. 6. The Redneck Games. In 1996, when the Olympics were held in Atlanta, some locals took offense to the fact that the international media portrayed them as a, quote, bunch of rednecks holding a sporting event. As a result, they ended up doing just that. Some of the events include toilet seat throwing, hubcap hurling, and the armpit serenade. 5. Burning Tar Barrel Festival. Although no one's quite sure why anymore, for hundreds of years, people in the town of Devon, England have been running through the streets carrying burning barrels of tar. As soon as the sun goes down on the 5th of November, barrels are lit and placed upon the back of a carrier. When he can bear it no more, he'll hand off the load to the next willing soul, and so on and so forth. 4. Bolas de Fuego. Staying on the topic of fire, this festival takes us halfway around the world to San Salvador. Around the turn of the 20th century, a volcano almost completely destroyed the town of Najapa. Every year since then, residents have gathered together to throw flaming rags at one another. 3. Konaki Sumo. Once again, we find ourselves in Japan. And once again, the Japanese have managed to outdo themselves. This time, the festival involves two things: sumo wrestlers and lots of babies. Every April, the wrestlers face off while holding the babies to see whose will cry first. May the man with the most baby-friendly hands win. 2. Goat Tossing Festival. There are few things in the world stranger than what happens in the small Spanish town of Manganeses de la Poderosa every fourth Sunday of January. Essentially, it consists of a young boy finding a goat, tying it up, and then throwing it from the top of the church belfry, after which it's supposedly caught by villagers on the ground. 1. El Colacho. Also known as the Baby Jumping Festival, this celebration occurs every year on the Feast of Corpus Christi in the village of Castrillo de Murcia. Any baby that was born in the past year is placed on a mattress in the street while all the men take turns jumping over them. Although there are usually at least several injuries, surprise, surprise, word has it that they typically only involve the jumpers. So, have you been to any of these festivals? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answer to us at List25. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.